freezer in the garage so we can only go shopping every 10 days. But in Europe, they might aspire to have
from scraping the ice from the freezer and putting 7 Up. You know what's crazy?
It still has a freezer, but I get this added feel-good effect of supporting what the company is supporting. This is what CSR
inevitably bring home when you get a look at their meat freezer. It also allows you to do things like buy dental care and clothes.
47 babies were found in a refrigerator freezer. They had to be thawed out like TV dinners so that the coroner could
converting refuse into gold and gleaned the value of a freezer. Now she freezes the excess butter and milk.
And storing it in the refrigerator or freezer does more harm than good.
That were in the freezer. A few months went.
It can, and will in your freezer at home, but it can remain a liquid to about -40, either scale.
Three types of ice. I didn't even know there were types of ice. Right? The ice in my freezer looks very similar to the ice in your freezer looks very similar.
You could definitely slow it down by putting it in the freezer.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
It's important that you chill. So any cold food needs to go immediately into the refrigerator or freezer. Cook.
If your freezer, it's going to be at -20 or so, depending on how you can keep your freezer. If you put it on the countertop.
A bottle. Much faster than a freezer. Because in freezer, the temperature is transferring over air. Here, it's transferring.
A child who had some of the berries in their freezer. And so I've been paying a lot of
hanging onto this girl's cart. I sat there for 15 minutes or so on that freezer, literally just sweating BBs.
Half of them go in the freezer for the future because we know there'll be new techniques, there'll be new ideas.
For the week. So we put it in the freezer and then we just pulled it out today. And
in the fridge or you store them in the freezer just to make sure.
Death led him past the aisles of tools, the freezer lined with meat, the television saying.
A walk-in freezer or a battery charger have a meaningful impact in terms of bringing energy costs.
Take an ice cream bar out of the freezer, probably about 250.
Change places your handkerchief in the freezer, clean and white behind ice cream.
And they love ice. So anytime I open the freezer door, they come running because they think they're going to get ice. Anytime my daughter.
But I also think we've got bags of zoo specimens in the freezer that are always like really interesting to go through. I mean, we've done.
And most of that's kind of in the freezer and gets pulled out from time to time. And
imagine that you decide you want to save money in your freezer. You want ice cubes, but
into the freezer, and immediately the cloud.
If you give me your poop and I put it in my freezer, I can't give it back to you. And
is it still in the freezer? Probably.
Beer. I put some beer in the freezer to cool down and I forgot about it.
Gabby usually go up to the freezer and pull out the piece of Tupperware.
And we put it in seed banks, which is a fancy way of saying a freezer. If you want to conserve seed for a long
in the freezer, and then you can really spoon the stuff in, can't you? It's ice cream.
And the cup is the same. When he had taken a cup, Matthew calls it the cup,